Hello everyone. Today we are going to study a new chapter, that is why do we fall ill. As you can see from the name of the chapter that it is about illness. So let's start with the opposite of illness, that is health. What is health? It is a state of physical, mental and social well-being. We can say a person is healthy only if he is physically, mentally and socially fit. Now let's define disease. Disease can be defined as disturbed ease, means your comfort has been disturbed or you are being uncomfortable. One or more systems of the body will change, give rise to symptoms. The symptoms could be cough, loose motions, pus formation, headache, fever, breathlessness, vomiting, fits, unconsciousness, inflammation, swelling, and general effects. A doctor looks for the basis of symptoms. On the basis of symptoms, the doctor recognizes the disease. The disease could be classified into two types, that is acute or chronic. It is depending on their duration. Acute disease is the disease which lasts only for a short period of time and is called acute disease. For example, common cold. It will last for 2 to 3 days, or we can say 4 to 5 days. That's enough. And now let's talk about chronic disease. Chronic disease is the disease which lasts for long period of time. It is called chronic disease. For example, tuberculosis, diabetes, blood pressure, these all diseases last for a long time, or sometimes we can say lifetime also. So these all diseases are chronic. So on the basis of duration, there are two types of disease: acute, which lasts for only a short period of time. It could be 2, 4, 5, 10 days. And chronic disease are the disease which last for long period of time, like tuberculosis, diabetes, blood pressure, etc. Next, causes of disease. What could be the different causes of the disease? Most of the diseases have many causes rather than one single cause, like unclean water, nourishment, genetic differences, genetic abnormalities. Example, based on the causes, there are two types of disease: non-infectious and infectious. Disease may be due to infectious or non-infectious causes. Infectious agents belong to different categories of organism and may be unicellular, microscopic or multicellular. First of all, let's discuss about infectious disease. Infectious diseases are those diseases which could transfer from one person to another person. These are also called communicable diseases. Communicable diseases. So infectious diseases are also called communicable disease because they get transferred from one person to another person. From the healthy person, it could transfer to the healthy person from a sick person. Types of disease: bacterial disease like typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, acne and anthrax. These all are the diseases which are caused by bacteria. Second type is viral disease like common cold, influenza, dengue fever, AIDS, Japanese encephalitis and or we can say brain fever. So these all are viral disease. Virus are causative agent of these diseases. Next is fungal disease. Fungal diseases are basically related to skin only. It causes skin irritation, skin itchiness and skin redness, etc. Next is protozoan disease. Protozoan diseases are caused by protozoa like Plasmodium, mosquitoes, malaria which is caused by Plasmodium, Kala Azar is caused by Leishmania, sleeping sickness is caused by Trypanosoma. So these are the causative agent and these are very important for your exam point of view. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium. Kala Azar, causative agent of Kala Azar is Leishmania. Sleeping sickness causative agent is Trypanosoma. Next is worm diseases. Worm diseases are caused by worms. Example, Ascariasis, or we can say roundworm. And second one is elephantiasis. Elephantiasis is caused by Wucheria. Elephantiasis is a disease in which the size of the leg becomes like elephant and it never comes to its original shape again. Next is the infectious disease spread by agents called as communicable disease. We have already discussed this. Infectious diseases are also called communicable disease. How they could communicate? Let's see this. They could communicate through air, water, sexual or animal disease. For example, airborne diseases are pneumonia, common cold or tuberculosis. They could spread through air. Second is waterborne diseases. Cholera, hepatitis, diarrhea, dysentery. These all are diseases which are caused by water, or we can say unclean water. Sexual diseases like HIV, or we can say AIDS. HIV is name of virus. AIDS is the name of disease. AIDS stand for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. HIV is the virus which causes AIDS, that is human immunovirus, and syphilis. Next is animal-borne disease. Some rabid animal cause rabies on their bites. Rabid animal could be dog, cat, horse, etc. They causes rabies. The vector, the animal carrying infectious agent from a sick person to potential host without getting affected, like mosquito. These are called vectors which carry the disease from the infectious person to the healthy person. The category to which a disease belongs, causing organism belongs, decide the type of treatment. What type of treatment will be given? It will be according to the causative agent. The infectious agent spread through air, water, physical contact or vectors, as we have already discussed. There are general ways of prevention that are airborne. For airborne, we can prevent exposure by providing living conditions which are not crowded. For waterborne, we can prevent it by providing safe drinking water. For vectorborne, we can provide by clean environment, so which do not allow mosquito breeding. Next is antibiotics. Antibiotics are basically the medicines which are being given for the bacterial disease. It will not work in case of viral disease. It will work only in bacterial. Many bacteria make a cell wall to protect themselves. The antibiotic, or we can say the first antibiotic, penicillin, it blocks the bacterial process that builds cell wall and blocks the biochemical pathways. Next is prevention of disease is more desirable than its successful treatment. And we all know prevention is better than cure. Effective prevention of infectious disease in community requires that everyone should have access to the public hygiene and immunization. Immunization is basically a vaccination which is being given before the disease. Vaccination is another way to prevent the disease in which killed microbes are introduced into the body to develop antibodies and can prevent occurrence of disease during actual entry of disease causing microbes. Killed microbe is being injected in the body in vaccination. Effective prevention of infectious disease in community requires that everyone should have the access to the public hygiene. So we can prevent the disease with the help of immunization. And the biggest example of immunization nowadays we can see is COVID. We are being given the vaccination against the COVID so that we can get rid of this coronavirus. So that's all about this chapter. So stay connected to my channel. Thank you and have a good day to all of you.